Hey guys, Helen Hart Smith here from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. And as you can guess, I'm sure, I'm outside right now. And I'm outside because I thought what I'd share with you today is the beginnings of the Rumi and I's outside planting adventures. It's finally warm enough here that we've been able to get out and get the flower beds cleaned out and start our work for the year. We've got a lot to go, but I thought that I'd go ahead and make a video, and if you folks like what I've done, I can continue to share. So we're starting here. I'm in the backyard. We haven't really done anything yet for the year in the front yard, but that's hopefully coming this week. We've got a couple of days of rain supposedly happening, so we'll see what happens. I feel like I should say that I am not a horticulturalist. I am not a master gardener. My family grew up farming and stuff like that, so I know a little bit about plants, and my uncle is an incredible resource for any questions that I have, but I'm definitely not an expert. I can only share with you my experiences. And as far as the work that we've done here at this house, it's been over like the last 3 years. So I think that's kind of all the little provisos or whatever that I wanted to, disclaimers, that's what I meant, that I wanted to say before getting started. So I thought I'd show you what's come back, what we've planted thus far, and maybe share some plans for future things. So what you see here is a 2-hook shepherd's hook that I actually bought for the Rumi last year. She wanted one, and so I got it last year, and unfortunately we never ended up putting anything on it. So we definitely wanted to make use of it this year. It's a nice heavy duty one, and we just bought these really nice hanging baskets, and we picked them up at Meijer. So we live in Michigan, so I think Meijer is kind of like in the Great Lakes-ish state area. And we picked them up for $3.99 each. And I want to say that they're like a 9-inch in diameter pot. I'll kind of put my hand out there just so you can kind of see the size that we're talking about. They have 2 larger sizes, like there's a 12 and a 15-inch diameter, I believe. And so it comes with the framework and the chain, and then the liner here that you can replace. And so what I did is we just put dirt in there and the plant. And so in this particular planter, we have strawberries. Now, when the Rumi and I moved here, the landlady was into gardening and stuff like that. And so strawberries were something that were actually in the flower bed below this. And so it was one thing that we kind of left there, because she pulled out a lot of plants because she actually lived here before us. So that was one thing that she left here, and we left them, but they were starting to get a little kind of crazy, and it was kind of difficult to plan any planting around them. So we wanted to save some, so we decided to put them in this. And then this little guy over here, my mom actually saw him yesterday, and she said that I needed to have him. This is a Garden Pinks, and it's a Dianthus, I believe is how you pronounce it, variety. Not flowering yet, but it looks like, looks like it will. So this is a hummingbird attractor, so we thought that that would be good in a hanging location. So now moving down, we've got some empty space here, and I'd like to try to find some additional fencing that matches what we have here so that I could fence that all off. So we'll see if we can find that this year. So next to the big empty space, right here is a new purchase. This is an Icelandic poppy, I believe is the variety. I played the Wicked Witch in a community theater production of The Wizard of Oz, so I have an affinity for poppies through that. So when I saw that, I kind of had to grab it. And then next to the poppy is, I'm not really sure what it is. I believe that is a returning plant from last year, and I believe that that is a Shasta daisy that I received from my aunt, and that, like I said, came back from last year. Next to that, this little guy right here, this is a columbine that I just purchased today. This little guy was on, let's see if I can get a better, he's got buds, looking a little sad, and that's because he was on the clearance rack for $2.50. And a columbine is a plant that I have wanted for a while. And so when I saw that he was on clearance, I had to have him. Next to the columbine, I have two echinacea plants, cone flowers, as they're also known as. You can see that I've got an orange one, and I have a traditional purpley colored one. The Rumi and I discussed, and we would like to get two more cone flowers and put them in front there and kind of stagger them to kind of have a nice little place for echinacea. Next to the echinacea is my little Nomi friend Norbert. He's a little protector here, and he's looking a little sad, little sun bleached, but we still love him. Now, next to Norbert, I think this is a returning plant, but I don't know what it is, so I left it. So if anybody happens to know what this guy is, let me know. I would appreciate it. Now, you probably noticed this big branchy type thing here coming up and out. Well, I forget. This is a trumpet vine, I believe. So once this guy flowers, which I'm kind of surprised, I think I see some buds out there. So he's gonna get leaves soon, hopefully, and they get these really pretty orange trumpety looking flowers. So he's been here for a long time, so really pretty, and provides some shade too. Coming around here on the step, got a couple of pots. The front one here has some spiky grass and some cute little pink verbena. I love verbena. And this pot is actually going to go on the front porch. But since I wasn't going up there today and I wanted to show you guys what was going on, I left it back here for now, and it's going to go in a planter up there. And then in this pot here, I have lemon balm. Lemon balm, oh, this poor guy. I actually saved him from the yard. The house that the Rumi and I lived in before, we had some outdoor plants there, and this guy actually started his life at that other address. When we moved here, we tried to bring the plants in pots with us, and they didn't survive well. And then when we decided to try to get some planting done here, we found a plant growing in the yard, and so I dug it up, put it in a pot, saved it, and over the winter I tried to bring some in my pot. I do a lot of potted herbs, and so I brought the lemon balm in, and it didn't survive. I have a really hard time getting things to survive over the winter, so I'm still trying to figure out what I need to do. But I found this guy in the yard today, pulled him out, put him in a pot. So, and I found another one too that's in another pot. So we still have lemon balm. Here's another little planting area. I think I'm starting to call this the ice rink. Over here, another flowering plant that my aunt gave me last year that I don't know what the name is. She calls it something like a goose. She said that it has white flowers, so we'll see what that does. In the pot back there, we have citronella to help keep the mosquitoes at bay. We also have our little flamingo, and we have a solar powered dragonfly that's so cute when it lights up at night. We had a few more verbena that were left that the roomie planted here. This here is a lupin that is a returning plant for the 3rd year. I picked that up at a farmer's market for like $2, and that guy keeps coming back, and I like it. So, and then back there is a foxglove that is returning. Very glad to see him come back. So I see that there's still some possible weeds in the back there that need to get pulled. The roomie and I discussed, and we're going to mulch this flower bed to keep it from, because we had to completely weed it out, today. Well, I worked on it over the weekend. So we're going to put mulch down, hopefully to try to keep that from coming back. And then in a pot here this is the other lemon balm that I saved. And this is a pot that I had planted not last summer, but the summer before with some anti-mosquito plants. And I thought that everything died, but then I looked in it this year and I see that there's some catnip in there that came back after 2 years. So there's the lemon balm, and there's some grasses and stuff in there that I figured I'd give it a couple of days to kind of recuperate before I pulled it out. And so there's some room yet in here. I'd like to find another lemongrass, because I've got one of those hopefully up on the upper porch there. And then down here, so this is a little deck area. We've got our grill there. There's an old grill back there that I had the idea, might look into spray painting that a funky color, cleaning it out, and maybe putting it out in the yard and putting some plants in it. Might look kind of cute. So if anybody's done that and want to share their experiences, I'd definitely like to hear about that. But over here, this is our gardening project for the year. This is, as you can see, plastic kiddie pool. I did some video searching on YouTube and talked with my uncle about container gardening, and there are some folks out there that are doing some successful container gardening with this kind of a setup. So as you can see, we've got a hard plastic kiddie pool, and what you do with that is you drill holes about 2 inches from the bottom. And what that does is it doesn't allow more than 2 inches of water to be in there at any time, so that way you don't overwater. And then these bags here are reusable shopping bags that we put garden soil in, and then you plant your plants. And then what happens is they do air pruning, which, you can do some additional research in as to what that is. But they will apparently grow in these bags and apparently be quite successful. So we've got some yellow peppers here, we have some zucchini here, and then we have a tomato plant back there. Already got the cage in and ready to go. So we're testing. We might do like one more bag with something like summer squash or zucchini, or summer squash or cucumber. But we didn't want to go too crazy our first year out, just to see what happens. Okay. So the light is fading. So I wanted to definitely take you up on the porch, because that's where most of the herbs are. So here is the porch. Our poor door needs a spray paint or something, doesn't it? So down here, this is just a mix plant that I found for $10 that was already planted and ready to go, and I thought it looked cute, and I thought it would be cute right there. It's in a one of those galvanized steel tubs, and I thought that would be a cute little decorational thing for the summertime. Up here we've got another hanging basket with a fuchsia in it. I love fuchsia. I think it's so pretty when it blooms. You can see one's open. Oh, yeah, so pretty. Okay, so over here, cute little table that we just bought that we haven't found a total home yet for. But here we have the herbs. So down here, not really an herb. This is romaine lettuce. We're trying to grow that in a container for the first time too. So we'll see how that goes. Rosemary, basil, sage, and lemongrass that I'm hoping is still alive, but I'm not sure. That's one that I thought that I lost over the winter, and I'm not sure, so we're going to give it a go and see what happens. And then we've got a sad cilantro plant from the produce department that I don't know if it's going to live, but we'll try. So, oh, and there's Norman, our other little know-me friend. So, and I've got a pot here ready to, there's something that's going to go in there, something special. And there's my neighbor who doesn't know I'm filming a video for YouTube. Hi! So, and then there's another pot too waiting for something to go in it. So that is it for now. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know. Let me know if you're planting gardens or pots or whatever, what you're doing. I think that this could be an opportunity for me to learn and, you know, share my experiences, I guess. So I guess that's it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, thanks for walking the path a little while with me. Blessed be.